This is the story about how becoming a mom
changes you as a woman.
When I look into my child's face, their first laugh, their embrace, I forget myself and I'm floating in space.
handsome, funny, kind, successful.
Keep making them money, Daddy.
These are all reasons why you picked your mate. Why do we now ignore all those great qualities and just look at the things that frustrate us?
The tip-off of a basketball game. It's Friday morning.
Sorry.
It's time we remind ourselves of those amazing things about our spouse and make him feel loved again.
My husband is like a rock, and he was beautiful and gorgeous. He's just real, and he's really genuine.
Today we're talking to Ayelet Waldman, author of Bad Mother and Mom, as we discuss, why did you marry your husband?
Sometimes it's very hard to remember why I married my husband because sometimes I want to kill him. But when I do, I think that he is so super smart, and I always find that the biggest turn on, and that he has an artist soul. So
you never say that, though, when you're screaming at him.
But you're yelling at him for having his head in the clouds. But,
Exactly.
I mean, that's the thing. You wouldn't want him to change because that's what you're attracted to. So if you change him, then you're going to lose that very thing that compelled you to be with him in the first place.
I married my husband because he was hot. I'm totally shallow. You've got to look at somebody for like 50 years, no?
Are they still going to be hot?
It doesn't matter.
there's
You
no
always
guarantee.
remember the person the way they looked when you first met him. And let's hope our husbands always remember us the way we looked when they first met us.
I disagree with everything.
You know, I read a book, and I don't remember anything about it except this one thing that the writer said, which was that a successful marriage, the secret to a successful marriage, they have a myth of how they met.
Yes, I also thought that he would be an amazing father.
Mm-hmm, right.
And he has turned out to be an unbelievable father.
My first date was he took me to this like Brazilian restaurant, and then he took me to this dive bar. I'm talking dive. And it was like karaoke night, and it was his test to see if I can make it.
That's no test for you. You're like,
I could totally make it, right?
I was gonna say, we didn't know you.
And he also had the Jeep with no doors, and it was El Nino year, so it was raining.
Oh,
so that was my first date.
My first date, my husband bought me a little Tiffany keychain of a shoe because his name is Sherrod, but all of his friends call him Shoe. And he was like, I know you have a hard time with my name, and I don't want you to forget it.
Oh my God, that's so
Okay,
horrible.
I know. How come you married your husband?
It was a blind date. He showed up. I saw him standing there, and what I actually thought, the thought that came in my head was, oh, now I can stop dating. We were both so certain that we got engaged after 3 weeks. And this is how we got engaged. I woke up one morning, and he said, so, do you remember what you said last night? And I was like, no. And apparently in the middle of the night, I rolled over and I said, as clear as I'm talking to you now, so, Michael Chabon, are you going to marry me?
And you remember that?
I don't remember it. And so he tells me that, and I'm beet red. And then I said to him, well, what did you say? And he said, I said yes.
Oh my God.
And that was it. And we got married.
We all fell in love with these men in the idea of spending our lives with them and having families with them. Once you have kids, what changes?
Don't you feel like you hear that a lot from women? I remember when my kids were really young, when they were babies, we had this kind of morning coffee clutch. We would meet at someone's house, a bunch of women. One of the things that everybody talked about a lot was how their romantic life had kind of disappeared. What a lot of women had done is they had taken their passion and their desire and kind of switched focus.
Your husband, you can kind of still plan that, someday I'll get that back. A child is demanding your attention at that moment.
I actually think that romantic relationship has to be nurtured. It's really easy to say, he'll be there when I'm done. Well, the sad fact is, all too often, they're not there.
I think most men need to be still loved and felt that there's that passion for them.
When we say, okay, we're going to go away for 2 days, and my 5-year-old is crying, I say, listen, mommy and daddy have to go away just to keep remembering how much we love each other.
You know what I say? You want mommy and daddy to have a divorce?
Oh, God.
No, I know.
And there you have it.
There you have it.
She's like, see you later, mommy. How come you married your husband?
I just love being around him. He's just
easy and happy and fun.
Driven and passionate, and he's such a family guy. He loves his family.
And when I met him, he's just so full of life, so energetic and fun and ready to take on anything.
He is the kindest, most generous, loving human being you could ever possibly imagine. He is, he's just a prince. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I would have married him on the third date.
Life with kids is hectic. It's easy for our relationship to get lost in the shuffle. So take some time and remind yourself why you fell in love in the first place. Appreciate those qualities that made you walk down the aisle and try and make your spouse the priority that he should be. Remember, we're all in this together.
Come visit our site
To see our Dancing with the Stars interviews
at jenandbarb.com.
This episode is brought to you by Maxwell House. Good just got great.
I just married the girl of my dreams. And
That would be me. My kids, if I have girls, when you're a little girl and you dream of your handsome prince, you wait for him. You wait as long as it takes because he'll eventually show up, as your dad did.